Hello, my name is Nick Davis with Team Davis, Remax Premier Group. We live and work here in the Tampa Bay area, and today I have a very special guest, Kyle Edwards with First Horizon. And Kyle and I have been working together probably 15?
15. It's close to 15.
Close to 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
15 years now. And I can tell you from experience that not just using him for our clients, but Cindy and I have used him to purchase our home. My son's used him. My daughter-in-law's used him. My brother-in-law has used him. So not only do I recommend him because I've worked with him before. So today what we're going to talk about is the different types of financing available for purchasing a home here in the Tampa Bay area. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Kyle.
I appreciate that gracious introduction, Nick. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be with you, and I appreciate you guys tuning in to the YouTube channel here. And if you guys didn't see the last segment that Nick did on just financing in general, I would strongly encourage you to just go back and watch that. Just a good overview of just normal loan programs, conventional FHA, USDA, VA, that type of thing. So I just want to kind of hit on some other programs that might be available, not only to first-time home buyers, but also to folks that, all borrowers, but really these are particular programs that we offer. And in financing in general, banks, lenders, and majority with banks, some banks have what they call portfolio financing. Not all banks have that. We do. Portfolio financing is basically where we offer loan programs that we service and that we offer that other banks don't. It's our in-house programs that we offer, and obviously in this market, it gives a huge advantage to borrowers that maybe are looking for something else, maybe don't fit the traditional profile of a conventional loan, and also are looking for kind of specialized financing that might not be offered from your traditional, what they call secondary programs, like your conventional FHA, VA, USDA programs. So, we have, in terms of portfolio financing, we can do anything all the way up to $2.5 million, all the way down to what we call the Home Start program, which is really offered to, it's a CRA program, which stands for Community Reinvestment Act. And that particular program is not only offered to first-time home buyers, but you don't necessarily have to be a first-time home buyer. As long as you do not currently own a home. First-time home buyers are typically defined as folks that have not owned a home in the last 3 years. But the Home Start program, as long as you don't currently own a home, that's one of the eligibility parameters for that program. So
okay, yeah, a lot of times we get calls from people and they say, well, I'm a first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
What type of programs are out there for me?
Right.
And they think that they're going to get down payment
Yeah.
and all this different stuff.
Yeah.
Because, if you don't do this every single day, it's, you only know what you may have heard 5 years ago.
Right, exactly. That's a great question. A lot of people think, being a first-time home buyer, you automatically have advantages, right? You're automatically and I don't want to use this word, but almost entitled, right, to programs that are not offered to other folks out there. But being a first-time home buyer, there are programs that you could be eligible for that are only offered to first-time home buyers. That's like the bond program, like the Florida Housing Corporation. That's something that we do as well. That particular program has been extremely popular in the past. It's not as cost beneficial to a lot of clients as it used to be back when the down payment assistance was forgiven after 5 years. Now it's not. So the money has to be repaid, but it's a great program for folks
when they sell the house.
Right, exactly. So the money has to be repaid either when they refinance the mortgage, when they sell the home, or if they pay off the mortgage and the deed is transferred to someone else.
Gotcha.
That's when that what we call DPA or down payment assistance has to be repaid. So it's like what they call a soft second mortgage. But again, that's with the Florida Housing Corporation bond program. And again, it's a great program for folks that that don't have any money saved up, that don't have the option of maybe getting a gift from some family members or something like that. So it's definitely something we have in our arsenal to be able to help folks get into a home. So and again, there's different qualifications for that.
Yep.
And one of the programs that's offered through the Florida Housing, and kind of getting off on the sideline away from the portfolio, and I'll kind of come back to that. But one of the things that's also offered through the Florida Housing Corporation is the Hometown Heroes program, which our Governor DeSantis he rolled out about a year ago. That's been a tremendous program for our first responders. So anyone who's a first responder, medical worker, law enforcement, firefighter, anything of that nature. If you're licensed with the state as an educator, as any type of medical worker, you're eligible for that program. Now, you are required to be a first-time homebuyer. The only ones that are exempt from that are veterans. Okay. So that particular program offers up to $25,000 in down payment assistance.
Wow.
It's a great program. And that, again, that's exclusive to first responders, which again, that's the program is called Hometown Heroes program. So great program. The fees are low on that. The interest rate is good, and that can be used in conjunction with an FHA loan, a conventional loan, or USDA program, or even a VA loan as well. So, but again, there's a lot of different caveats with that program. And again, if you're interested in that, please reach out, give me a call. I'll be happy to go over that with you. But kind of going back to portfolio financing, which again is something that we have, ARM programs are something that's big right now with a lot of folks, just because the way the interest rate environment is. And ARM programs, again, it's not for everyone, right? A lot of folks are, there's that kind of presumption is, what happened back in the late 2000s with the mortgage crisis. But adjustable rate mortgages, if they're used correctly, they can really be advantageous for a lot of folks, because basically our portfolio program with the adjustable rate mortgages, they're running a point to point and a half less in rate. So
That's significant.
That's significant. And I mean, we're talking, depending upon the loan amount, that could be $500-$700 a month, right? So if you go with like a 7-year ARM or a 10-year ARM, it's still pretty conservative, because that interest rate is fixed for that period of time. So it gives you an option of being in the home for a good period of time, and obviously, hopefully, when rates do come down in the next 2 or 3 years, you can always refinance. There's no prepayment penalty on those programs. So with the portfolio ARM program, it does require 20% down, which obviously I know a lot of folks don't have, but that's an option for you as well. And the difference between that and what a lot of the other banks and lenders offer is that ARM programs from a secondary market, that's, like I said, that's what most banks offer. The margins are so compressed on those, where it doesn't make sense, because you're having to pay points to obtain that program and that interest rate. And it just doesn't make sense. Why just not?
It actually costs you a lot.
It costs you a whole lot more, exactly. Our portfolio program, there's no points. So you're getting a lower interest rate, no points. As long as you got the 20% down, you can do that. Also, the medical professional, the doctor program, we have that 100% financing up to $1.5 million loan amount, 670 credit score for doctors. And again, you have to be a medical doctor or a DO or a fellow. A fellow's work as well. So, but going back to the Homestar program, again, it's a CRA program, Community Reinvestment Act, is for low to moderate income borrowers, or if you're buying in a low to moderate income area. Okay. It's 100% financing, minimum 620 credit score. There's no PMI. Now, the rate's a little bit higher on it, but there's no private mortgage insurance, and it's 100% financing. So I just closed one last week. Great for the client. Didn't have to put any money down. All he had to come to the table with was just his closing cost, and he loved it. It was great for him. So there's some other programs out there that we have: Home Possible program, Home Ready program, and we can also we have some internal grant money that we can use in conjunction with those as well, and also with the Home Start. So there's internal grant is if you're, again, low to moderate income borrower, and buying in a low to moderate income area, we can actually offer up to $6,000 in down payment assistance. Now, that down payment assistance, that's a grant coming from First Horizon Bank, and it does not have to be repaid.
Okay.
That money is completely forgiven the day after closing.
Wow.
So it's a great program. And again, it doesn't work for everyone. I talked about being a low to moderate income census tract. That's a geocode census tract that we have to look up. So if I qualify a client on that program and we're banking on them trying to find a property in a certain area, you're kind of going to be hamstrung, right? So, but again, it's a arrow in our quiver that we have to offer to clients that if they don't have the money to put down as a down payment, we can definitely help them with that. So yeah.
So really, it all starts with them reaching out to you, doing the online application.
Yeah.
Then you can look at their specific scenario, or their individual scenario, I should say, and see what works best for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing too is a lot of folks just don't know where to start, Nick.
Exactly.
And I always tell my agents and my referral partners, just have your client call me. And I'm not a pressure sales guy.
No,
Nick, you know that.
He's not.
And I love educating people. And the reason I'm in this business is I just like helping people. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing it if I couldn't make a living and support my family doing it. But again, I like educating people, and just trying to get you on the right track and working up a game plan to where if now's not the time for you to buy, let's figure out when it is and what you need to do to get there. And
Steps to take.
exactly, if it's if you've got some credit issues, you know I always tell people, that they're always hesitant, right? I've had bad credit in the past or whatever. You got to start somewhere, right?
Yep.
Call me. I'm not going to judge you. I just want to help you, right? I want to help you get to a point where you can, build up your credit. If it's paying some things off, whatever you need to do, right? But
I'm not going to stalk you. He really is not going to stalk you. I know a lot of people get concerned when they give their information out that, oh my God, now all of a sudden, I'm going to start getting 30 emails a day and phone calls at 10 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. But Kyle's not like that. He's really going to do, he's really going to put down the steps you need to take so that you can do what you want to do. And like he said, if it's not today, it may be 6 months down the road.
Right.
But if you do what he lays out for you, I assure you, you're gonna get the best deal. I can go back to a client probably 12 or 13 years ago, was financing with USAA,
Yeah.
VA loan.
remember.
Yep. So we sold their house and found their new house. And USAA told them, oh, we need 45 days to close. And we're like, well, we don't have 45 days. Their house is being sold in like 28, and we have to close on the house the same day.
Right.
And they couldn't do it. So they reached out to Kyle. We closed on the sale of their house and the purchase of their home same day. And I think they've since used you.
I've used two more. I think two more times. I've done 3 loans for them.
Right, and then their mom and dad
Yep.
went through. So, like I said, what he can do is, you have your banks, and your banks are, left and right. There's no deviating. I'm sorry.
Wiggle room.
There's no wiggle room.
Yeah.
Then you have these mortgage lend brokers all the way over here, and all they're doing is shopping you out, and then they're charging you fees. And then Kyle's kind of right in between them. He has a little bit more wiggle room, but doesn't charge all the junk fees and all the crud and crap that some of these mortgage brokers charge.
Right.
And so he's beaten out, all the major lending institutions, all the different programs. Every time we tell people is just give them a call.
Yeah.
Just call Kyle, talk with him.
And it's always good to get a second opinion. I stress that a lot. If you're already set up with your bank or your lender or your uncle's brother or whatever, whoever, right? So that's pre-approved or whatever. Just give me a call. Let me take a look at it, and I'll tell you if I can't offer you a better deal, I'm going to tell you. But in most cases I can, or maybe give you some insight that might be helpful for you. So And again, I'm not a pressure salesperson, but I just want to help you. I want to educate you, want to get you on the right path. That's maybe going to get you in a better financial situation to be able to purchase a home, to get the best financing possible, and kind of set you up for the future. So that's what I enjoy doing, you know. And I can't tell you, there's so many different examples through the years where I've given advice to some people and they've called me back, you know, 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later in some cases, and say, hey, Kyle, I've done what you need to do. I've done exactly what you've told me to do. I've pulled their credit, got them set up, and I'm like, you're pre-approved. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Go buy a house, and they're elated, and that's really I find a lot of self gratification from that, and that's what I enjoy doing. So you know, again, you know, give Nick a call, give me a call. I'll be happy to go over your scenario with you, give you a second opinion, and see what we can do for you.
Awesome. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Kyle's information in the description. So if you need to reach out to him, you can contact him. And if there's any topic, subject, question you have,
Yeah.
go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section. And if it's for me, I'll answer it. If it's for Kyle, I'll forward it over to him. And then if you need help purchasing a home here in the Tampa Bay area, Cindy and I are ready to go. Just give us a call, 813-300-7116. Look forward to talking with you soon.